We can all just take a deep breath of gratitude and thanksgiving to be here together today. It just feels so wonderful. Just look around at all the beautiful faces in this congregation. And I have to especially call out our master athlete who's with us today, Lynn Farrell. Yes, 5 gold medals at the senior games. So really, we have a star in our midst. So welcome, everyone, to Unity in the Gold Country, and welcome to all our YouTube visitors as well. We can't see you, but you can see us. So you are welcome here with us. Your energy is with us. Isn't that lovely knowing we are all connected? Whether we are here in manifest bodies or in the digital realm or those that we love that have passed on, they are all here in love with us. My name is Chris, and I'm Reverend Jerry's platform assistant today. And I want to ask if there's anyone new today, just raise your hand so everyone can see. Look around. We have several new people. That's great. And if you have not received your newcomer's packet, please keep your hand up and you'll receive one. So we're going to begin our formal service by lighting the Christ candle. And for those of you at home, if you have a candle, why don't you get it now and light it with us? Because we know that as we light this candle, we're lighting this flame of remembrance in our hearts that we are all one. In the beginning was the one presence of the undivided and unmanifest, pure spirit of life, light, and love. In its generosity, it shared itself, its consciousness and its love in the visible form of creation. We acknowledge this presence within us and as us. As the creative energy of the divine feminine and masculine, expressing in all our giftedness and creativity. We acknowledge this presence in our companion, Mother Earth, and in all sentient beings. This universal presence in everything we call the Christ. We light our candles as a visible reminder of the Christ presence, expressing in, as, and through us in each present now moment. It is the truth. Let us embrace it. And now we have our wonderful singer, Angela, and musician, Gabriel. And let's all stand and joining in with them, the opening song, I Can See Clearly Now.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I can make it now, the pain is gone. gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome once again. It's kind of funny, as I was looking through the lyrics of that, I chose it for one reason, and then as I was looking at it, it said that the rain is gone. And I thought, well, I guess there's two ways to interpret that song. But we won't focus on that. So today, my theme is all about waking up, being awake. And are we awake? It's a question for us. And I shared some of what I'm about to read now a few Sundays ago, but this is kind of a fuller version of it. And it says, I know who you are. I want to begin by saying that I know who you are. You are an eternal being. You are love, acceptance, and compassion. You are strength, clarity, and truth. And at the deepest level, you are pure consciousness. Pure consciousness. Beyond form and any content. You are powerful beyond imagining. You are an instrument of God's purpose upon the earth. You are, in fact, a champion for God and the divine, and your ultimate destiny is to awaken into oneness. In that sense, you are the champion of your own soul. And it is through your awakening in this lifetime that your soul will be restored to its immortality. You are Buddha, revealing the pure mind of God. You are Christ, revealing the pure heart of God. You are Lao Tzu, revealing the way of God in the world. You are awakened man and awakened woman. You are eternal. But you are on a journey in time. Your journey has taken you from oneness into duality. It has taken you into a sense of separation. And it has taken you away from the present moment into the past and into the future. It has taken you from truth into a world of ideas, opinions, and beliefs. The journey is purposeful, but for the most part, we have lost our way. We have forgotten who we are. But I know who you are, and I am calling out who you are right now. Because now is the time for us to wake up to who we really are. And as we hold that thought, we do so for all the people in the world. And we enter into our prayer time, as always, for all those who are asking for prayers. And together we set the intention that as each name on our prayer list is read, that person is bathed in love and their highest good comes to them. I'd like to start by praying a special blessing upon our board president, Marlene, who has a very special birthday tomorrow. So we bless her and for all that she is and all that she does for us. We pray for Rebecca and Doug Mora, for Christopher Zumwalt, John Zumwalt, David Patrick, Susie Healy Harmon, Magdalena Jekyll, Sharon Watson, Ron and Vanessa Stewart, Frank Potts, Carolyn Duty and family, Marjorie Taylor Green, for Ernst Sersney, Lindsay Brooke and her cat Taz, for Don Stoll, for Zion Morgan, Breeze Seitz, Michelle Harris, Saxon, Jennifer Mucci, Pavel Jedlicka, Forrest Newey, Tamara Montre, Fred Metzier, Mike Simpson, Dorothy Wheeler, Robin and Steve Nola, Mary Lynn Peters, Michael McCurg, and of course we continue to pray for peace in our world, in the Ukraine and in Russia. For who else would you like to pray for? Please say their names out loud. And we pray knowing that there is one presence and one power, active as the universe and as our lives, the all-loving goodness of God, and all is well. We listen now to the daily word for today.
Before we begin the daily word, I'd like to just say to anyone who's new, there's a red ribbon on your packet, and if you will place it on your lapel, then we'll know that you're here for the first time, and that will encourage people to just come up and introduce themselves. So that will be lovely. And also, I wanted to say that I'm the chaplain for today. So if anyone that's here would love to sit in a space of prayer and meditation, you can join me after the service outside the door around the corner in the chapel. Would love to sit with you. So the word for today is purpose. And let's, as I'm reading it, just imagine that you are reading this yourself because it's written in first person. And it's good. We all have purpose. And as we age, we need to really affirm that. We're still here, folks, right? So there's a reason for that. I pursue my purpose with passion. Over the course of my life, I have discovered what has kindled my passions, captivated my attention, and made me feel most alive. My passions lead me to discover my purpose, to which I choose to devote my time and my life. My highest spiritual purpose is to live from my divine nature, my divine gifts of life, of love, of wisdom, expressed uniquely through my passions, fulfilling me while demonstrating the truth of my being. I listen to the still voice of spirit within to discern the best way to fulfill my purpose. I heed its call to learn, discover, and grow. It is never too early or too late to embark upon the journey of a lifetime. I'm going to say that for all of us. For myself, too, it's never too late, right? It is never too early or too late to embark upon the journey of a lifetime. I am ready, willing, and more than able. More than able, we are. And from John 18, verse 37, for this I was born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth. And now we have a beautiful meditation from Jetta Molly. And we know she's coming here. My goodness. So if you haven't made your reservation and purchased your tickets, now is the time. You can go online and do that. She's awesome.
As you close your eyes and settle in for this brief practice, allow your mind to be calm and quiet. Allow your breathing to be long and even. And allow your body to be relaxed and settled. And allow an inner smile to warm you internally. Just feel this inner smile moving through your whole body. Opening your energy, bringing you into a new state of calm and well-being. And feel the spaciousness that an internal smile brings to your whole state. A gentle elevation and ease. Which are the hallmarks of our conscious awareness. And notice that the heart particularly enjoys to hold that internal smile. And you can feel it radiating not only in your inner state, but also now extending out in every direction into the environment in which you sit and beyond. Notice the properties of that internal smile. Notice the warmth. Notice the kindness. And notice the quality of love. For in truth, it is so easy for us all to intend and allow and to experience loving kindness. Feel your heart open more and more to allow this quality to radiate from you, through you, and out into the world. And see where loving kindness is most needed. Do you need to be kinder to yourself? If so, send loving kindness to those parts of you now. Let that warmth, that openness, that ease, and that goodwill envelop all the parts of you that have felt criticized, blamed, judged, unworthy. And let your own loving kindness be a source of comfort. Notice how your being responds. Notice how all those little pockets of tightness, sadness, or shadow are lifted up and out. And see too where more loving kindness is needed in the environments that you touch on a daily basis. Perhaps in your family home, perhaps in your workplace, perhaps in your local area, or maybe you want to send loving kindness to all beings, all creatures, to the planet itself. There is no limit to what your loving kindness can touch. See if you can widen that aperture in your heart even further. See if your whole being can become a conduit for loving kindness, and allow it to flow freely, abundantly, joyously, like water cascading down a waterfall. Allow it to flow into the world, through you, from you. And imagine if each human being were to spend 5 minutes a day just sitting quietly and extending loving kindness. Just picture for a moment how our world might look, how it might feel. And how we all might be different. And finally, notice that loving kindness is coming from a source. We are not creating it or inventing it. We are not engineering it in this moment. We are simply allowing it to flow through us. Notice where it is coming from the source of life itself, which is the epicenter of all love and light, the epicenter of all good and beauty, the epicenter of all truth. Wisdom. Let us align to that and allow our being to express all these qualities. Feel that eternal smile now become an external smile also. Let us be grateful for the simplicity of this beautiful quality.
Yeah.
Now I invite you to join in with Angela and Gabriel in our community song, A Wonderful World.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah.
So that song and our meditation reminds us that anytime the world doesn't look so wonderful, it's really an invitation to us to use the power that we are to vision, to intend the world that we want to see. And that's really what my talk this morning is about. It's about the obstacles to awakening. Because as we look at our planet recently, it's clear that many people are living in a state of fear and anxiety and trepidation. You could say in unconsciousness. And at the same time, I think we're aware that something is afoot spiritually. There seems to be an awakening also at the same time. And so I guess the question for each one of us is, well, which group are we in? Because it's possible for us to think, while we are really unconscious, that we are actually awake. That's the tricky one, isn't it, to figure out? And even though our eyes are open and we appear to be awake, we're walking around, we're talking and living our lives, are we doing so from a state of unconsciousness? how would you know which or whether? So I have a little story to get us into that question. So this woman, like ourselves, was really tired and weary one night, and she decided to go to bed early. And she fell asleep. And very quickly after falling asleep, she started to dream. And she dreamt that she was on a train, on a journey on a train. And she had her two prized possessions with her suitcases, with all of the things that she needed for that journey. And in the dream, she suddenly realized that she had lost them. They weren't where she had put them. She couldn't find them. And so she began to look around where she was sitting. She looked up above, under the seats, and they were nowhere to be found. So she got up and started walking around the carriage, looking everywhere. Couldn't find them, went into the other carriages, searched the whole train from top to bottom, and was just frantic because her suitcases were missing. And she went around asking everybody, "Have you seen my two suitcases?" And so this dream was suddenly a nightmare for her. And right about then, right outside the window of her house, a car was passing, and it honked its horn. And it broke the spell, and she kind of began to wake up. But as she was starting to wake up, she remembered her suitcases, that she had lost them, and she had to find them. She said, "I can't wake up, I must find my suitcases." And she was going back into the dream when it dawned on her that if she woke up, she wouldn't be on the train, and she wouldn't be missing her suitcases. So she decided to awaken. So this little parable reflects a fundamental truth about our lives, doesn't it? As children, we came into this world where people we were deeply attached to weren't necessarily paying attention to us in the way that we wished. We didn't receive the unconditional love that we wanted and the acceptance that we needed. We weren't allowed to be ourselves or to express ourselves fully, necessarily. And some even suffered abuse at the hands of people who were supposed to be their caregivers. And those unfulfilled needs and emotional wounds, those are the two suitcases that we're carrying around with us and that we're continually looking to somehow heal and resolve. And we won't awaken from the dream until we do that. We're going to continually be caught in the dream. We're still looking for love and acceptance, for approval, for someone to be fully present to us and to all of our needs. But we will never find what we're looking for within the dream, which is, of course, the world out there, outside of ourselves. We must realize that we are looking for something that was missing in the past. And as long as the search continues, we are caught in the past that we will always seek to resolve. It's always going to be this thing that we're trying to resolve from the past. And we are going to remain caught up in that dream. And it's possible to waste a whole lifetime trying to solve problems, overcome limitations, or heal wounds that are related to the past, when it would be so much easier for us to simply be present in the now moment and to awaken to what is real, what's right here now, when all those problems and issues can be resolved in the now and healed. So how do we do this? How do we wake up to that? and to the present moment? Well, the first step in waking up is to admit that you're asleep. The first step in healing pain is to acknowledge that I'm suffering. I wonder why I'm suffering. Who's causing this suffering and my pain? The first stage of liberation and of liberating oneself from limiting beliefs is to begin to notice some of those limiting beliefs. The first stage in freeing oneself from anger or fear is in acknowledging that I have a lot of anger buried inside of me. I have a lot of anxiety and fear still. And unless we are willing to acknowledge who we are right now, then we're never going to be able to set ourselves free from that to find out who we truly are. And we have to acknowledge it all with love, with acceptance of ourself. This is my experience right now. With the utmost compassion and without any further judgment. Because that's the tendency that we have. We tend to judge ourselves for being this made-up person that we think we are. And so we must do so from a position of giving ourselves more love, not less, when we start to notice the flaws and some of the other things that we have painted a picture, if you will, of ourselves as. We must begin to recognize the dream and the various components and aspects of it, and the way that it manifests for us in our minds. You know, if we're anxious, if we're afraid, having negative thoughts and feelings, we must begin to acknowledge that and simply share it or confess it to the wind. Call it out. Call it for what it is and simply expose it. And by bringing consciousness to the dream, that will begin to lose the grip that the dream has on us. By bringing consciousness to the dream, it will begin to lose its power. And so we must turn our awareness back on itself. Shine a light, if you will, on what's going on in here every day. We need to become wise to the tricks and how the mind snares us. So let's get down to some of the nitty-gritty. How do you know if you're awake or asleep? And I'm going to ask you some simple questions, and you can just answer these for yourself in the silence of your own minds and hearts. Have you grown more fearful and anxious over the last year or two? Do you find yourself having more negative judgments of yourself or of other people of late? Are you kind of stuck in that cycle? Has your world become filled with lots of desires? You're just focusing on a lot of desires or on attachments, the things that you're really attached to, more than in the past. Because if we are clogged with fears, anxieties, judgments, desires, attachments, then most likely we are living in the past or we're projecting ourselves into the future, and we are not really awake. We're just caught up in a dream. The present moment is not available to us because there's just too much of all this other stuff. It's like a cotton ball all around us. We can't be in touch with the present moment because all of this other stuff is much more real to us. And so we get lost in our minds while preoccupied with all these things and lost in the dream. That's a substitute for being really alive and vibrant and feeling the power of the love that is within us and feeling the power that we have to heal ourselves and to envision and create a new world. We must bring consciousness to all the ways that the ego holds us captive in its world of separation and continually gives us more reasons to separate from each other and from the place within us that heals us and heals all of our woundedness. If you look back over the last several years, we have been really pushed to separate. And we have to wake up to all those devious little ways that are presented to us every day on the TV. So I want to share another story, a second story. And it is the story of a man just like you and me, who was sitting under the Bodhi tree. A Bodhi tree, by the way, is a fig tree, I found out. I didn't know that. And as you know, in the story of Buddha, he sat under the Bodhi tree waiting for enlightenment. So clearly this is a symbol for one who can become awake. So he was sitting, reading under the Bodhi tree, reading book after book after book, just getting lost in the books and all of this great spiritual wisdom. And one day, the tree spoke to him. Why are you reading all these books? Why are you reading about Jesus? And why are you reading about Buddha? Why are you reading about Krishna? I hold the key to liberation, to your liberation. Those books, they'll just give you information. Yeah, they'll inform you, but they're not going to awaken you. I can awaken you. So the man was quite enthralled. He said, I don't understand what you're saying. And the tree said, well, the words in these books, they'll take you into your mind. They'll energize a whole process in your mind that you're going to get really interested in, and you're going to get caught up in that. But they're going to take you further away from the present moment. They're going to take you into a place of separation. Okay, said the man. And the tree says, if you will choose to be fully present to me, the fig tree, those thoughts will stop. That process will come to a halt. And the past and the future will leave you alone, and you will awaken into oneness and truth. You will know and recognize that I, the tree, am the vine. And you will come to know that for yourself. Everything that you're seeking in those books will be revealed to you if you will become present to this moment. And so the man had this big smile on his face, and he said, that's what all these books have been telling me. He said, I've been on the right path. And then he continued reading. Feels like that's our story. We're told over and over again how to become more aware and enlightened. But rather than put that into practice, what we've been told, we just keep reading another book, or watching another YouTube, or another spiritual program, or another workshop, or another whatever. I wonder why it is that we do that. Could it be, sounds like the church lady, could it be Satan? No, we don't say that here. Could it be that some part of us wants to undermine us? Some part of us is afraid to awaken, that's going to feel like it's going to lose out here, it's going to die. Could it be our ego mind? if we are to awaken, we will have to bring consciousness to all the ways that we are lost in the mind and in the ego, functioning as limited, fearful egos, like some kind of a computer program that has taken over, a viral program. We will have to bring to consciousness all the ways that the ego holds us captive. And it really does. We're prisoners in a world of separation that it creates for us. And we are subject to its authority, because it's God in that world, and to all of its laws, all of its beliefs. Someone once said that it's like there's this elastic band that snaps us back from being in the present moment. And it snags us back into this busy mind of ours. We all know this from our attempts to meditate and to be quiet and to have our minds be still, right? One moment we're present in the moment and we're meditating and it's peaceful. And suddenly we realize we're back in some reverie, and we don't even notice where was that moment that I went back into this thought and story. But gradually, as we place our attention on the present moment, we stretch that band and we loosen it. And it has a less powerful hold on us. We are able to hold on to the present finally and stay there in a better way. We feel more at home, perhaps, in the present than in the story, finally. And now we feel the pull to be more awake and more aware in the now moment. The monkey mind loses its appeal for us. To be fully present is our natural state. Do we realize that? To be fully present is our natural state. If you want to talk about the Garden of Eden, that's what that story is trying to tell us, that there was a time when we were fully present and conscious. And the fall, if you want to call it that, in that story, in the mythological story, is that we fell out of the present. We fell asleep. Because our true home is in this world, but in the now moment. Not the world of past hurts, and not in the world of future, imaginary, better scenarios. So one of the things that we tend to do is to beat ourselves up when we lapse into unconsciousness, when we get caught up in the monkey mind. But perhaps we would do better to celebrate our successes. When you have those moments of really being present, whether it's present with someone else or just present by yourself, maybe you're washing dishes and you're just very aware and you stay with that, or in a meditation when you're successful, celebrate. Say, that's what I really love, is that. What I really want is that. And forget about the times when the monkey mind came back in. Celebrate the successes and appreciate then the sense of freedom and joy that you get in those moments. So the takeaway from today is that we really need to examine whether we are awake or whether we are asleep. I guess every generation thinks that something more powerful and important is happening in their time. But I kind of really do believe that that's true for us, that we're living at this pivotal moment of a shift that could happen and is happening. But it's all about being purposeful, like the daily word today talked about our purpose. And our purpose in being here ultimately is to wake up. You know, we can do all these other things. We can have wonderful careers. We can have great relationships. We can have families. We can have everything and anything. But if we don't wake up, then we've kind of missed the journey. We're still thinking that our suitcases are lost somewhere, and we're still chasing them. And we can do that through the evidence of how fearful, anxious, focused on desire, or anticipating the future, we are. These are clues to us. If we're really caught up in all of that, then maybe we're not awake. The universe is relying on us to make the effort as humanity, as one of the particles of humanity, in this critical juncture in the history of humanity. And so we have people like Jetta Mali who have these beautiful meditations to help us, and every day we can listen in. We have these on Zoom, and of course she is coming in October. So I really encourage you to take this to heart. Really ask yourself, am I awake, and what can I do to awaken? Blessings. Thank you. And so we come to that part of the service when, once again, we wake up to our prosperity and our abundance. All of the things that are just a given every day. Our breath, our bodies, our homes, this spiritual community, this community in nature around us, all of the bounty that is ours. And so we tap into that now again as we prepare our love offerings this morning. Maybe place them over your heart. If you're giving with someone, hold hands with that person. And collectively, we pray, my heart is open to receive and grateful for all my good. I give fearlessly and with love. Okay, and so Angela and Gabriel have a beautiful, harmonious song for us. Feeling Tomorrow Shine.
I've been dreaming a crazy dream. It's been so long now, I thought it was real. As I awaken, my eyes can see all of the beauty that's been there for me. Feeling tomorrow shine, feeling tomorrow shine. Got a brand new feeling ahead, Lord knows I'll be fine. 'Cause I'm feeling tomorrow shine. Well, I'm still reeling from this crazy dream. Starting to realize that nothing's as it seems. It's like I'm walking on brand new feet. Yeah, it's like I'm driving on a brand new street. Feeling tomorrow shine, feeling tomorrow shine. Got a brand new life ahead. Lord knows I'll be fine. So I'm feeling tomorrow shine. But I built my life, it seems, based on illusions from some crazy dream. And when it all falls to pieces, I awaken, yeah. I come to realize I've not been forsaken. 'Cause I'm feeling tomorrow shine, feeling tomorrow shine. Got a brand new life ahead, Lord knows I'll be fine. And I'm feeling tomorrow shine, feeling tomorrow shine. Got a brand new life ahead, and Lord knows I'll be fine. Feeling tomorrow shine.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. We have blessed these gifts in our hearts, and now we dedicate them to the work of unity here and worldwide. Thank you, God. Amen. So as we have mentioned, we are hosting Jeddah Mali from England here at the centre on October 15th and 16th. So we would encourage you to really consider coming to that event. It'll be like a 2-day workshop. All the details are in the e-bulletin, and if you have any questions, you can always ask myself or some of the other people around here. I'm sure they know all about it. And to help us prepare for her coming, we are, again, almost every day having these meditations of hers. They're like 45-minute meditations. And this week, I think we're on number 5 or 6. And you can join in with other people every day, different times. Just look at your email, the Zoom email list, and feel free to join us. You can also go to her website then and listen to them yourself at a time that's convenient for you. And so we have an invitation for some teamwork. Right below there on Whispering Pines, we have a lot of bushes that need trimming. And so we're hoping to form a crew of at least 6 people, 8 to 10 would be great, to tackle that slope, to do some weed eating, exposing the sprinklers and clearing the debris. A crew working just on that area would make all the difference to it, because it's hard. We have Catherine, who's doing some great work, Arbini, down there on her own, but we really do need some extra manpower, woman power. So we're proposing that Saturday, October 1st, weather permitting, to do a cleanup on that day. So I believe there is a sign-up sheet on the table at the back, over by the wall. So please consider that. Many hens make bushes go away, basically. And again, we have a call to any artists in the community to share some of your giftedness, some of your paintings or ceramics or whatever. And the date we are proposing is November 11th, and this is for a wine, cheese, arts and music evening. We have some musicians lined up, and we're tasting some wonderful wines, but we'll take our time doing that just to make sure that we get it right. So if you do have a piece of art that you would like to put into that event, then please do call Leslie and let her know. And at this time of year, every year, we do have the Unity World Day of Prayer and of Peace, when we hold the high watch for the world. And the affirmation this year is, I pray with an elevated mind and open heart. So you can use the link in your e-bulletin to access all of the options around Unity Prayer Ministries that they're offering this year. They do a live stream, so you can join in. I think it's maybe the 8th, it's usually the 8th or 9th of September. And you can join in live with people back there at Unity Village. And the next announcement is the Energy Healing Clinics are returning, and they're coming up shortly on September 11th. And we're grateful to Christy for organizing this. And we have several practitioners who are offering their services. So if you are interested in that, you could talk to Christy or talk to Claire. Believe there's a sign-up sheet. Maybe you'll double check just to make sure there's a sign-up sheet. Oh, you have it. Okay. So do you want them to come to you directly, or? All right. So Claire will be your secretary. And the deal is that these are about 40 minutes, 45-minute sessions, and we are asking for a donation for that. So this is a way to have a session at a much reduced price, or you can pay more. It just depends on you. All right. Okay, and if you would like to receive our e-bulletin, then please do sign up on the back table also. All right. What a nice service and what a nice group of people. But that's always. All right, thank you, Gabriel, Angela. And we thank Lita Spoto for the flowers. She was in earlier. To those back in the kitchen, the other Lita, and Patricia back there. And the guys up in the booth. All right. So let's stand and pray our unity prayer. Together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, because I am, and all is well. And I do want to recognize to all those on live stream that we have a pretty full congregation this morning. So I want to encourage those of you who have been kind of holding out, staying away, come on back. Really do. We miss you. And I would invite all of you here to call your friends, call the people that were sitting next to you, you're not seeing them anymore. Invite them back. It's time for us to get together again. All right, lead us in our closing song, I Choose Love.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. Tie that binds us can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present. It's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because we choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. We choose love. We are all part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one. We
Please stay for some refreshments if you can. Get to know the new people. Thank you.